Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? KMB the Sexy Ninja in the place to be for C Plus Studios and the Paper Saber universe. Welcome to the New World Podcast, brother. And we're talking about AEW's Rampage from Friday night in El Paso, Texas. JR, Excalibur, Jerichoed, Tony, all on commentary. I love the vibe of all three of them. I really missed Jericho last week's Rampage. I think he adds a lot to commentary. But let's get right down to it. We had the Blackpool Combat Club versus Kip Sabian and Butcher and Blade. Of course, Blackpool Combat Club wins. You know, Wheeler Yuta is he's on fire right now. I want to know what's next for the Blackpool Combat Club. You know, I feel like as soon as William Regal left, it's missing William Regal. You know, I know they're trying to keep it going, keep the fighting spirit. Bryan Danielson's still part of it. You know, but you know what's next for this group? Where do we move on? Where does Claudio go? Where does Moxley go? Where does Yuta go? Because Wheeler Yuta, He's a rising star on his own. So I want to know where we're going with the Blackpool Combat Club. I like them. Forged in combat. I love their shirts and stuff like that, but we shall see. The Jokers were backstage, Impractical Jokers. They called out Jericho, and they would come out later on in a very silly but fun spot, I guess, you know. And Darby Allin package, what's next for him and Sting? You know, there's so much in this show. A 1 hour Rampage that's packed tight in this 1 hour, and my notes were all over the place. So, you know, if I go off the rail, that's why, because there's just so much to, have here. Darby Allin, Sting was next. I really wish we did the whole Sting turns his back on Darby Allin, or Darby Allin, and then we're going to go for the tag team championships and take them from the Guns. Big upset this past week, but, we have Ruby Soho versus Marina Shafir with Vicky Guerrero, or Shaffer, sure. But Ruby went for the win, and here comes, is Tony Storm and Saraya come out, and then Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, and the best part about it was, Ruby's like, what the fuck is going on? She's like, am I not filled in on the memo yet? Yo, Tony, what's going on here, brother? What is my purpose inside this feud that's going on between these four women right here? Jungle Boy, Jack Perry versus Ryan Nevith. Right? I got that right? Did I got it right? Yeah. Jungle Boy for the win. I want to, Jungle Boy's talking about getting a title around his waist, a singles title. He's already done the partner thing. We haven't even seen Luchasaurus in a while. What's next for Jungle Boy as well? And this show has a lot of those, what are we doing with Ruby? What are we doing with Blackpool Combat Club? What are we doing with Jungle Boy? They're here to give us some great matches. And we got some great matches here. But it's where are we going with these three? What's next for Jungle Boy? What title should he have? I don't see him getting the World Heavyweight AEW Championship at any time soon. Maybe TV Championship, maybe the AEW All Atlantic Championship. I don't see him in that main event spot. But that's what the show is where are we going with these guys? I love them, but I want to know what's the end game. So one of my favorite things from this is the Mark Briscoe interview. I love this man so much. He's been through so much, losing his brother, but he still has that fighting spirit, still keeping on, what we love about Mark Briscoe, and Josh Woods got in his face. With Jungle Boy, Brian Cage comes out, Swolverine or whatever you want to call him, setting up whatever there. So it was funny as Brian Cage coming out. I get him so confused Wardlow, Brian Cage, and then, we got Hobbs, all of them all mixed up, big monster dudes. But Mark Briscoe, much love and much respect, brother, for keeping that smile on your face and being you. Now we're here at the main event, Orange Cassidy with Dan Hausen versus Lee Moriarty with Stokely, and this match was fun. Orange Cassidy for the win, keeping his AEW All-Atlantic Championship. I'm just wondering if that's just going to be a thing. I'm going to get to the meats and potatoes of this show, but I just want to talk about this fucking cluster of what the fuck. Cassidy for the win, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, they attack with the stupid Golden Globe claim. The best friends come out. Stokely's angry face makes me happy, but Stokely's facial reactions just makes me happy. Then the Acclaim comes out of nowhere. The Acclaim arrives, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it was just so much in this main event. This show was just like bam, 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 and my notes are so all over the place because it was like, oh, whoa, there's this. Oh, whoa, there's this. Ricky Stark's interview, the promo talking about how he's going to, he doesn't need Jericho and this and that. Then we have the Joker spot with the table, and they tried so hard to land him safely on that table because the Jokers come out, they have his bat, they're making penis jokes, like, oh, I didn't know Jericho's bat was so small, tee-hee-hee. Then the JAS comes out, the Juggalo Appreciation Society, Jericho Appreciation Society comes out, and they get the table to put the beat down on the Jokers. Murr's not selling for shit of the Impratical Jokers, and Q, love Q. I've said this before, you should go check out his podcast with Brian and Walt Flanagan. Walter, the TESD, the Tell 'em Steve Dave podcast. It'll make you laugh and shit yourself in so many good ways. It's such a good podcast. And Q is funny as fuck on there. I like Q more on TESD than I do on the Impractical Jokers, but he's working with his best friends. So there was that spot. It was kind of silly just because of the way it looked. Murr wasn't selling, and then when they brought Murr up to go on Q, it was safe and as gentle as possible for that table just to break enough to make it kind of look devastating. Jericho, now we're going to see more. I wanted to watch that episode of the Impractical Jokers where Jericho's going to be on it just so I can get the gist of what's going on. Why is the bat taken? What's with the bat being taken? But the bat's back in Jericho's hands. We had a promo with Adam Cole. Promo for Adam Cole with Renee that's going to be on Dynamite this week. Next week is Rampage Slam Dunk, night before Elimination Chamber. Hangman Page is with Renee, and the best part about it, this is what made this show for me. All the matches were great and fine. I give this show a solid 4 out of 5 because there's so much here that it made time go by so quick. This is the line that had me dying, laughing on the fucking floor because I was like, wait, what? Hangman Page is getting angry. He goes, why am I always talking to you, Renee? Blah, 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 blah. Why am I always talking to you about your husband? And, he's so angry. And he goes, you want to know what he eats up, John? I ate, when we had that match, I ate his ass for 12 minutes. and he knows it. I was like, what? What? I ate his ass for 12 minutes and he knows it. He's talking about his match and I was just like, that is so weird. But that's those promo things that you hear. Like I've said this before on the podcast, like using the word coming. I'm coming for you, and I've done that shit before. I'm gonna come get you, Scud boy. I'm gonna come after you. And this one, I was just like, I ate his ass for 12 minutes, and he knows it, Renee. He's just yelling at Renee, and I wonder how Renee felt about that whole exchange there, man. That's some good shit, man. Kip Sabian interrupts all stuff that's leading into Dynamite next week. We got a big Dynamite, good week of wrestling. Tonight's Monday Night Raw. I'm glad I got to sit down and watch this AEW Rampage just because it's just fun. This show is a little all over the place sometimes, but it's just fun. But it also, there is some storyline inside of Rampage that keeps me going. I'm kind of sad that the ratings are not as big as Dynamite. And it's understandable. I think they use the show, too, to film AEW Dark. You know, I should check out AEW Dark on YouTube. That's for free and stuff. More, you know, we see more of the talent that's being used on that show and on this show and stuff like that. Eddie Kingston still has the storyline with the House of Black. Yeah, he has this whole storyline going on. Eddie Kingston, you know, that's what I mean. There's so much in this show that it's just hard to unpack it all. And when I do unpack it all, I'm like, oh, okay. So we're going this route. So we shall see what happens on Dynamite this week and on Rampage next week. I give this show a solid 4 just because it's packed juicy with all types of flavor. We're building up to Revolution in March 5th coming up. And like I said, and that main event was fun, but at the same time, I was like, what the fuck's going on? Jericho, this and that, you know, Orange Cassidy, the Acclaimed. Let's do it, brother. So that's it. That's all. 4 out of 5. Tell me what you like the show. Tell me what you hate. Well, you know, what made you laugh? And as much as I'll say it one more time. I ate his ass for 12 minutes, and he knows it, Renee. I ate his ass good. I ate Moxley's ass. Tasty good. That was my highlight. So the meats and potatoes. All right. Tell me what you think. Drop those comments below. Then after you do that, hit that like, hit that subscribe, share it with your grandma, share it with your grandpa, share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja. And remember, the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Head to the back of the head is right. Good night, Nemeth. Good night, Nurse.
The winner of this match, Jungle Boy,
Jack
Perry.
Didn't take long. Kid don't work by the hour. Yeah, you